You know, there's a lot of you out there that don't feel in full control of your life. And I'm here to tell you you're not alone. There's a lot of people that feel that way. And there's many reasons why you feel that way. But there's also a way out. There's also a way you can feel like you're in control of your life. You know, COVID woke people up in two ways. It woke them up to how the world works. It red-pilled them on politics, on the pharmaceutical companies, on what was considered conspiracy theories, and they realized that it was the truth. Or it woke people up to the reality that they're not in control of their life. And unfortunately, the latter is more true. Unfortunately, more people have woken up and realized government is in control. They can, whatever, at a drop of a hat, they can tell me what I need to do in my life. Because they've got me chasing the carrot on the stick. And the carrot on the stick is wages, right? People have got rent to pay. People have got to put food on the table. People have got mouths to feed. And you need a job. And in order to have a job, you've got to be, and then if you have a job, you pay your taxes. And you're looking into it, and this is not conspiracy. The system, the governments, they want you going through the education system so you can get a job. So you can earn money and you can pay them taxes. And then they can use that taxes to pay themselves, expand the military industrial complex, you name it. So you're a slave to the system. Now I get that's how this puts people off, especially on like conservative drifter side of things recently, the last couple of years. A lot of people come in saying, you know, it's the Matrix, right? The Andrew Tate thing, Matrix this, Matrix that. Men are being suppressed and blah, blah, blah. And if you pay me this money for this course, you're going to learn how to be free. This is none of that. I'm just here to tell you how it is. That's the system. And people don't feel like they're in full control. They have to wake up at 6:30 and go to a job that they don't want to be at and be bossed around by someone they don't like, doing a thing they hate. And they clock out at 5 o'clock and they go home and they do the commute they don't want to be doing. And then they sit down and then they watch TV and then they're getting all this subliminal messaging, this programming on the TV, the program they're watching, the advertisements and so forth, and you know, they're kind of switching off at that moment. They don't want to use their brain too much. So this thing is like going in their subconscious, right? And they do this day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And then comes along COVID and all these situations. You gotta wear a mask, you gotta have a safe pass, you gotta have a vax, you gotta do all this stuff, and people are realizing, I'm 25 years of age, I'm 30 years of age. What am I doing with my life? I just realized that I've been bossed around all my life. And now I'm being told to take something I don't really want to take because I want to keep my job that I don't really want to keep because I don't want to be homeless. And it's a horrible feeling, it's a sinking feeling. And more people are feeling depressed by the system. If you look at it, you look at the economics of things right now. The rich are getting rich, poor getting poorer, right? Inflation's out of control, all of this stuff. Government seems to be heading towards more totalitarianism, and people are feeling anxious, people are feeling sort of boxed in, the walls are closing in. That's a horrible place to be, that's a horrible feeling to have, and so many of us have it, including myself on many levels. So how do you escape this? How do you break free? You have two options. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to sit here and say it's fucking easy. It's not easy, it's far from easy. The easy route is just do what you're doing. Stick to that NPC lifestyle, switch off your brain, just do your routine, get on that hamster wheel, do what you got to do. Mostly the reason why you feel so anxious is because you don't really want to do that. So the hard route is you've got two options. You get rid of it all and you go fend for yourself in the woods and live off the land. That's option one. Now, some people are doing that. It's no coincidence that a lot of these channels on YouTube, these sort of, living out in the woods, out in the sticks, building these huts in the woods and hunting for themselves, and they spend a week out on some deserted island. There's no coincidence that these channels over the last 3-4 years have blown up. Because a lot of people romanticize, they sort of live vicariously through these channels because they would love to go and do that. Drop this current system and drop everything and go out and do that. But that's very tough and it's not very practical. Most people ain't going to be able to do that. It's very dangerous. It's going to be hard work, risky. Most people don't want to, most people want to stay connected to society. Most people do want to live and contribute within society. So option number 2, you stay within society. But you start your own business. You start your own business. What that business is, you have to figure that out. How to make money, you have to figure that out. But that is business number 2. You have to do it. If that's the way you want to do it. If you want full control over your life, you want to do it. And don't get me wrong, I know the entrepreneurial route. I know that a lot of the time it's more work. It's more work you need to do. When you work for yourself and you've got your own business, you're working all the time, you can't switch off. So maybe you're more caged in, you have less freedom on some ways, but you have to ask yourself, or you have to make sure it's something that you really like, that you're passionate about, that one day you can just turn around and go, you know what, I need a break today. And you take the break. I need a holiday, I want to go here, and you do it. Even you do that like once a year, same amount of holidays you would have anyway, but you get to choose when you want to do it, and you have freedom, financial freedom to go wherever you want. That's a game changer. Just knowing you have that freedom, even if you're busting your balls trying to make this thing work, knowing you got that freedom, that's a big thing. They're your 2 options. There's no beating around the bush. They're the only options you got. Unless you're a doctor, a lawyer, right? A banker or something, you're making serious money and you can put enough money and invest enough money in the side that you can get out the game way before retirement years. Apart from that, they're the 2 options you're left with. That's just the reality of the situation. You can get out of it. It can be done. It's the hard route. Do you want it enough? Do you want that freedom? Do you want freedom enough? Because freedom comes with responsibility. It comes with challenge, big challenge. Or do you want to stay a slave but have this ever-growing level of anxiety and, I'm not going to say the word depression, but say sadness, grow every single year? And you sit there on your deathbed at the end of your life and you have this big regret that you didn't give it a chance. At least try, man. Give it a couple of years. Try for at least a couple of years. Give it at least 2-3 years. At least say you gave it a shot at least once. I know what I'm choosing. Up to you. Guys, get commenting. Let me know what you think. I'm going to reply to you. Give me a like, subscribe if you're new. Check out my main channel. Link is in the description. That's where I put a lot more effort into my other videos and go deeper and more on the side of fitness and stuff. But give that a look. Hope you enjoyed it. Join me back for the next video.